9 more holes to decide who makes it into the 4-man showdown, the final round. This is the back 9 of the semifinals of the 2019 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. Jamie Thomas once again hanging out here on Gatekeeper Media. Let's do this. I'm excited. We've seen Clemons, 5 of the last 6. We've seen Alex Russell. Basically, they're all doing this. They all started a little slower, with the exception of Alex Russell. Started getting under par in the latter half of that front 9, but the holes are starting to run out. Hole 10, this is a tricky one here. This is the gap that's so tough to make. It's going to turn downhill to the left, and it'll be the shorter pin. It's the one we're playing to. Ladies play the long pin as a par 4. Make sure you go check out that coverage. Hammis to lead us off. You hear the crack. You know you squared it, and you just hope it lands somewhere decent. Heimburg looking for a gentle flip up on this drive. I like the angle, but I think he just missed the line inside a little bit, not by much. Alex Russell with a little bit more force over.
Great shot.
Great shot. He's going to have a look. Clemons, forehand, trying to push it through that high gap. Beautifully done. There's Hammis. All right, one tree to contend with for his par. Heimburg should be fine. Oh. Adam's going to want that one back. He had it dialed properly. Oh. Alex is going to want that one back. They each need to give each other a little bit. Let's take the average of those 2 heights. Let's put it that way. And they'd be staring at 2 birdies. Heimburg, par. Clemons, par. Excuse me, birdie. Gosh. Bogey for Hammis. That is Clemons with a birdie. Russell, Heimburg, par. Hammis, bogey. The 11th. This par 4 is much more about placement than power from the tee here, as most of the players, they're not going to get to this spot even. You know you're going to have a little bit longer of an approach relative to your drive. Again, it's a par 4 that's under 500 feet, so that's usually indicative of the type. Just got to place it so that you don't have any awkward roots or anything in your run-up. This is the second time we've seen Clemons on a backhand tee shot kind of miss the gap. It's coming out a little high left on him. Heimburg putting a good forehand right where it needs to be. Alex Russell. Perfect. Let's see what Adam does. Another great looking shot. Probably best of the bunch. Even though it's not the furthest up the fairway. Probably best angle. This guy, he's got the worst angle. And all in all, that's fine. Just get inside of that. Fantastic shot there. Chris Clemons, ladies and gentlemen. Alex. Easy peasy. Pin high. Calvin kind of in between the forehand and backhand there. Went with the backhand. And you can see why. I mean, everybody that goes forehand ends up just a little further from the pin. Backhand, if you can beat that early gap, you're almost guaranteed to be sitting close. But all of a sudden, Heimburg here, this is for par. Yeah, he had two not great shots there in the middle of that bogey. Here's Hammis. Just right on it. The kind of putts you gotta make in this situation. Both of them. 2 in a row for both Hammis and Russell. Hammis going a little quick there. As you can see, a couple of the guys on the card starting to fall off of the pace here. As we go to the 12th. This par 4 is a righty turnover that you got to land. Still kind of going turnover. Because if you hyzer, you're going to get caught on that corner. And it's not going to be easy from there. So getting something that can fade to the right and then fade back to the left. Soft landings appreciated. The opposite of that. Clemons going to find himself in the thick stuff 2 holes in a row here. And Alex Russell still hasn't really gotten to the trickiest part of that line, so that could be a stroke. It's going to be tough to save. Hammis looking for some magic. Here's Heimburg with an opportunity.
Let's go. Great shot.
Yeah. Not the traditional way, but he did sneak it through the handful of Guardians on that left side. Alex, as you can see here, still having to do that force over. And he still won't be as far up the fairway as, excuse me, Calvin Heimburg is. So, tough sledding here. Clemons, same fate. He's going to have to be aggressive on this next shot just to get the par. Hamas says, I didn't get the magic the first time. Let's see about this time. He's still looking for birdie. And that's a good tree. Clemons. Such a difficult line. He's looking at bogey at best. Heimburg, good opportunity here. And that should net him that birdie he needs in this moment. Russell trying to prevent the cooling off, but that just was not going to be the case there, I guess. Good up there from Chris. Put a tourniquet on the thing, move on to the next hole. Try to live to fight another day. Hamas for birdie. Oh, still nearly stole it. Played as aggressive as he could, 3 shots in a row, and almost just took the birdie. But Hornets Nest didn't give it to him. He'll take par. Russell for birdie. Excuse me, for par. Yeah, just talked about how trying to prevent the cooling off. And going 3 pars in a row certainly isn't heating up, but it is certainly better than par bogey, given the scenario he's in. Calvin Heimburg right now, you know, though he stumbled on the last hole, picking it up quickly, still gives him room to potentially get to 11. I mean, it's not an easy task, but 11, you're feeling really good about your score. This 13th here is an opportunity. As you can see, it's a long way up the fairway and then a pretty hard turn right, but there's room to work some angles. That's the most important thing. So again, scoreable par 4 at distance. If this fades a little, that's money. Oh, just getting hung up on the right side. Deja vu. Here's Russell. He's got a little sear on it. I love that phrase. I'm definitely using it. I'll give Barsby all the credit in the world. Just got to sear it over a little bit. Don't overcook it. And he fluffed that one high. Clemons here, using every part of the fairway. Yes. Good spot to be. Here is Alex Russell. That's got to fight deeper in that gap. Yeah. That's the danger. You really have to... You don't want to be throwing a spike into that gap unless you're Simon Lazard or Eagle McMahon. So... Clemons trying to push. Again, a little bit high. It's tough. It's a tough shot in there. Even though it is right to left, it is, in terms of getting to the pin, the righty backhand turnover like we saw Drew, like Paige Pierce used on this hole, even though they played it to the slightly shorter tee. Like Calvin's trying to attempt right here if this can hang out. He was just a little wide, but that was starting to unwind. Just needed to do it a little quicker. Great shot here by Chris. Heimburg try to save par by putting it close. Mission accomplished. Birdies are what are needed here. As that's going to elude Alex as well. Hamas, at this point, you're kind of in run everything mode. Everything you do has to at least be chain high and try to give it a chance if you have the opportunity. But in this format, the light's getting pretty dim for him. Chris Clemons as well. Heimburg and Russell. Chris Clemons is still at 5. Felt like he'd been cooling off, but I guess...
Brand new first run Millennium plastic Scorpions. See if I can get it up. The wind's kind of coming right to left just a touch. It might fall down mid-flight. Let's see. Yeah. That had a real nice flight to it. A little bit of nose up on. This one I'm going to try to steer a little lower to the ground. See if I can get it to pop up and fly real straight. Just a little bit of turn. Yeah, baby. Huh. Woo! Boy, that thing gets it, doesn't it? Woohoo!
And we're back. Yeah, before the break, said Chris Clemons was cooling off. I guess that's technically true, but he didn't have any bogeys up until hole 12. That's why. Anyway, 14. 419 feet to this longer basket right here. Gentle hyzer is all that's called for. Just let it round the corner and sit soft for the righties.
Get saucy for him. Get saucy for him. Let's go. Shanked it.
The gallery willed it into being. Heimburg's looking good for a 2. Alex Russell going forehand. That is a more technical line. And He's got the opportunity. That's a tough putt, but it's possible. Clemons here. He's got to do what Alex did, but a little more. If that stays up. And that got a pretty good slide there. He's all the way up to probably 50. And Hamas just needed to have a little more integrity to it in terms of the fade. Just got a little loose on the fade there. Good up. Oh, Clemons even closer. Call that 42. Maybe the cooling off is real. That's one he definitely wanted to have. Only 4 left to play. Oh. He's been close. He's been just barely off on a bunch of birdie attempts. Heimburg. All right, that's 2 in the last 3. He's at 6 all of a sudden. That's going to threaten. Good par there by Adam. Par for Chris Clemons. Yeah, par for Alex Russell. Ham is starting to feel a little bit like Joel Freeman in the quarterfinal coverage we did. Just trying to manufacture it, but just doesn't seem to be in the cards unless something crazy happens. The gauntlet is where crazy things can happen, though. So we go to this elevated pin back here. Good bit more uphill. 321 feet.
Yeah, dude.
Heimburg gets about 290 of it. Trust me, it takes more than that in terms of power. Alex, a little step and a little flick of the wrist. And he's going to have some work to do. Clemons nearly threading a show-off gap. Not what he needed there either. Hamas, this is just for pride. Good kick. Again, run everything mode. Just try to throw him in.
Perfect, kid. Wait, when's your birthday?
Chris hanging on there. That's good. I mean, he's still 5 down. Go, Hamas. That's not a bad run. Alex here just outside the circle. Great hit. He's been so close. He just had that stretch in the middle where he cooled off. He just needed a couple more birdies on some very scoreable holes, but he's knocking on the door right now. This is important here for Calvin. Oh, and you can hear the wind starting to pick up. The storm's starting to roll in here. And today the tee times are actually moved up. Forgot to mention that at the top. I think the MPO was moved up an hour and a half and the FPO was moved up an hour. Heimburg, relying on that situational experience he's gained this year. Hunker down, make that putt. Three holes remain. Hole 16. Up the rise, through the gap, through those goalposts, down the hill, to the left. Back right is OB, and back left is jail. Easy, right? 357 feet. That's how they tallied this one up. There is a left fairway that we didn't fly. Alex Russell is flying through the woods. It's a bold strategy on this hole. Vinny needs some drift. He did not get it. Even Clemons says no thank you to the left fairway. It's a tough one. Hammis got that one. It's a little bit high. He throws that thing 2 feet lower, he might have aced it. With the way the ground drops out. Tricky forehand there. Good backstop. Par opportunity. Clemons floats one. He's going to take a par. And Heimburg's not in position either. All of a sudden, Hammis, if he birdies out, I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm saying that given the scenario, this is the last card. No, great putt there. That's such a crucial putt. This is not the last card, excuse me. Not the last card to play, but you just want to put yourself in position, and that's what putts like this do right here. Good leg bend, quality commit, just stealing your nerves and saying, I'm going to get this one. I don't care. I've been off earlier in the round. You love to see it from the young competitor. Just the fire. To go to the playoff last week after leading for most of the tournament with this guy right here who's making clutch putts when he needs to.
Play for a putt. Let's go.
Just as clutch, even though it was for a par. Great putting duel. We're getting to see it 2 weeks in a row. Putting display on hole 16. Well done. Clemons will show you how to make a tap in here. Everybody make sure. If you're gonna have your bag on, make sure you look good doing it. 17. This is a gently curving right to left fairway that then hooks around, goes uphill, and down this spine, which is also a little scoliosis, you know, just gently curving. There's a basket. Very gettable. Again, name of the game on these wooded par fours is just things that don't work too hard left or right. Heiser flip game is king. Or sneak it through everything on a shortcut. Go ahead, Adam. Ride your bike without a helmet. You know best. See, Russell shows us the proper way to get up the fairway. Using the road. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, Heimburg's throwing.
Yes, dude. God, dude.
Oh. And sometimes you can try to do the right thing and get punished. Calvin Heimburg finding himself a little bit off the fairway and a lot of it needing this birdie. Clemons sending a forehand, needs to hook. Oh no.
You were doing it, Peter.
Clemons. This is not good. He really needed a birdie on this hole. Calvin really needs a birdie on this hole. I am not sure how it got that far up the fairway. My theory is that because the disc was green, the leaves did not recognize it as a disc and did not block it. But either way, Heimburg, he's looking at birdie after that drive. Fantastic. Alex Russell just picking this hole clean. That is a great stall forehand there from Hammes. Opportunity for birdie. And 2 in a row. Clemons finding all kinds of trouble. He still has not made it to circle 2 quite yet. Now he's nearly 80 feet out. And the desperation forehand there. Unfortunately, Chris Clemons may have played himself out of contention on this hole. That's a rough way to go out. That's going to be a 6 for Clemons. Going to take him from 5 down to 3 down. Heimburg. Great putt there. Hammes follows suit. And Russell should absolutely be making this. And he's going to find himself 7 down as well with Calvin Heimburg. Hammes gets to 4. And Chris Clemons most certainly ends his day there. You hate to see it. 1 more hole to go. Birdie on this has never been so important. 486 feet. It's the basket back into the right in the sun. This is where the women play to. This is where the men play. That kind of soft, fluffy corner on the right side there is that's the big danger for a lot of these guys who are going to have to put it on a hyzer flip to drift line with the backhand. And Hammes just started out too far left. Forehand line here, you can kind of power it. Little drift. Never hurts. Russell. He's going to leave it on his putter, which is not a bad idea because he's certainly shown skill doing it that way. This is the traditional line here on this hole with the backhand. It's a good line. Still a little short. Work to do. Both of those guys would feel miles better about an 8 than they will a 7. Both of them are going to have to earn it. Clemons letting the main out. Overcooking that one a bit into the left side. You kind of have to throw it a little higher too, what these guys do anyway. With the full speed driver, you do risk going out of bounds if you just unleash on a low hyzer flip that gets all the way up. You're definitely going out. The green is not very slow, so to give yourself a chance at birdie, short is a little bit better if you have elite level distance. Hamas here. This will be for 3. He's ready to go. He's not waiting on the spotter. That is a mighty heave. Wow.
Darn.
Here's Russell. He's still outside circle 2. And that's going to float by. Good putt, Chris. Way to end it. If you can't play tomorrow, make the last shot you threw today good. And he does just that. To get to 8, here's Heimburg. Oh, just shorted it. And Calvin Heimburg will finish at 7 down. Alex Russell will as well. Adam Hamas, tough day today. And as it would turn out, those 7 downs would be, those putts would have been so good for Alex Russell to get, as his 7 down leaves him as first out. Michael Johansson right behind him, because Kevin Jones and Calvin Heimburg both with the 7 down. As you can see right here, they will go on by nature of their tour points. Drew Gibson shredded it today. Chris Dickerson did as well, 9s for each of them. Garrett Gerthy nearly found his way into the conversation as well. Well, that is the semifinals of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship here on Gatekeeper Media. Thank you so much for joining. Again, I'm Jamie Thomas. Appreciate Gatekeeper for having me. Appreciate the whole media team out there at the Pro Tour Championships. And thank you to the Disc Golf Pro Tour for another great season. We'll see you guys next time.